What's up, boys? Welcome back to another private lesson. After we had Rainer on the last episode, we have another star here, Soul, sending in a replay. Honestly, Soul with an incredible MMR. I just looked at the loading screen. He was 7.1k MMR, guys. So, you know, we're gonna have some deep analysis to do. We better not disappoint, guys. So let's go. The Soul didn't have too much to say about this replay. The message he said was the number one. And then the name of the replay was Stupid Imbalance. So, obviously, we're playing as the Protoss guys. I think the Protoss was quite low MMR compared to him. I think it was like 6-2 or something like this. So about 1,000 MMR difference here. So let's see if Soul is right, guys. Let's see what Soul can do better, okay? So he's gonna go for a normal barracks gas. The way I like to see it. Not a huge fan of gas first memes, as you guys probably know. I like the standard builds a bit more against Protoss. In general, lately, I think standard macro games against Protoss have been looking a bit better as well. And if there's anyone that's like, you know, the king of the long macro game in Europe, it's probably Soul. So I imagine this filthy Protoss over here is not going to let him get there. So let's see what we can do about it. Probe comes into scout. Everything completely standard so far. Protoss build as well. Core first, normal probe scout. No SCV scout by Soul, notably. Which is really fine. Gonna play Marine first, actually. And then the command center. Now, one thing I have to say is if... like, I don't SCV scout in most of my games against Protoss, but... Wait, how did that even go down? That was magic. I don't SCV scout most of my games against Protoss, but... If you play against someone that's this much lower than you, I would probably recommend the 18 SCV scout, you know. In this game, it wouldn't make a difference. He's not doing anything super cheeky, but I would probably prefer to play a little bit safe. So we're actually going to go for Marine into Reaper. This is a very interesting opening, by the way, guys. If you've never tried this out, please try it out. It's really cool. I saw a special do it against Pez as well in the show match thingy, and sometimes they're just caught off guard. You get a free scout, and it's really sick. So we're going to have an appropriate bunker timing. Honestly, I think this Marine is a little bit weird. I feel like if you scout with a Reaper, 2 Marines is not enough to beat an early Adept anyway, which I assume the Marine is for. And then you're not gonna have production for a while. So I think this would actually be way better off to be a Reactor instead of the Marine, right? Because then you can actually get up to that 3 Marine count where you beat the Adept and actually have a better production later on as well. So really not a fan of the second Marine. Obviously, if you make any more Marines of a Reactor, it's just getting worse and worse. So it's probably better to make this into a Reactor, for sure, I would say. Now, this is actually a little bit of a mistake as well, I think. Since you're playing the Mind Game Reaper, I guess, the Marine into the Reaper, I don't expect. You probably want to walk it around. Which on this map isn't even longer. You can easily walk the Reaper this way, you know. And it's gonna arrive at roughly the same time. So this is, yeah, like showing him that you have a Reaper is probably a very bad idea here. Maybe it was an accident, I'm not sure. But since you're doing a Mind Game Reaper, definitely make sure to actually send that all the way around. Which on this map is actually, like I said, not very far away. So yeah, that is gonna come in. Let's see if he's gonna be brave enough to shade past. Honestly, if you see 2 Marines, you could definitely do that. He's gonna see the Reactor building. Now, nothing problematic here. So the 2 Marines are not going to be punished, but yeah, you did miss out on a Marine of production. Wait, did we? Wait, we lost the Reaper, guys. What happened here? Oh no, guys, Soul is a YouTuber. Welcome to the YouTube filter. You're part of the family now. Well done. That's actually pretty bad though. Like I don't think we got a scout on anything. Yeah, not the Robo, not the Twilight, not the Gates, and we know what this means, guys. Early Twilight, early Robo. This is gonna be probably either the Blink or the Charge meme. I think third guess comes later with Blink, so it's actually not even sure yet. There we go. It's gonna be the Charge build. So we did get a Hellion behind it, so we're gonna be able to scouting around for proxies a bit. That's always good. Let's see what we're gonna get here. This is always the good move to make, but if you lose the Reaper, or I like to do it even if I don't lose the Reaper. You you go for that sure scout. Now, losing the Reaper here is even more problematic because I feel like if you have a Reaper and a Hellion, you can get guaranteed scout no matter what, because you can just throw the Reaper grenade here. Trust me, you guys, it looks cool, but it's not really that hard to execute. You can just throw the Reaper grenade here, and the Reaper is probably gonna die, but you can run in with the Hellion. If they target the Hellion, the Reaper gets in, and you're gonna scout whatever. So the Reaper dying here actually makes sure that you can't scout anything really, unless he was out of position. Now you could see the Robo, but obviously... Oh, you actually did see the Robo. Okay, that's very good. Now, one thing I have to say is that normally this build is totally fine, but in this, like, first we had the parting blink era, and now we have this very small recent charge all-in era, pretty much. And I don't think you can really play 2 factors before add-on anymore. Like, if you do this against charge or blink, it's probably pretty tough to defend. Like, either 3 Widowmine drop or a Hellion into 2 Widowmine. I think that's both a little bit greedy. I actually think you can only afford 2 factory units before getting a tank out. And in this case, you don't even know if it's blink or anything yet. And their main reason, the main thing to scout for the charge limp, by the way, is the lack of gases. With the blink on, and you're supposed to get a 3rd gas. With the charge on, and you only have 2. But like I said, because there's no Reaper, you can't scout this in time. Medevac is not out yet. So to be safe, I think you either need to play 2 Widowmines or 1 Hellion, 1 Widowmine, and then get an add-on. Like, I feel like 3 factory units before the add-on is a little bit greedy in this current meta. For a long time it was fine, but now with all these kind of builds, you have to be very careful with that. So we're gonna drop the Widowmines logically. Now, normally, there's a lot of builds, I talked about this before. With the Widowmine drop, you can actually scout a lot. You can scout the gas timings and stuff. But as you can see, this medevac wouldn't arrive in time to scout anything, really. You're also a little bit unlucky, to be honest, to not have scouted this either with the Hellion or with the medevac. Like, the medevac could have easily, you know, flown all the way over here to go for the Widowmine drop. So, this definitely could have been scouted. Hellion looks like it's gonna see every... Oh, this is very unlucky, though. Like, your scouting is good. Honestly, like I said, the build is a little bit off, in my opinion. And this is why. This is gonna arrive when your factory unit would have been done. If you only play 2 units. But now, it's not gonna be finished yet, so it's gonna be very difficult. Widowmine drops got probably 2 probes, I guess. Yeah, there we go. Zealots are in the main. This is actually the only thing you can do at this point. You have to pull the SCVs and kill them. Another thing you could try to do is evacuate to the natural, but in my experience, it's the best to actually pull the SCVs and kill it. I think these probably should have kept mining, but let's see. Micro and SCV is pretty good so far. A little bit of hold position wouldn't hurt, but honestly, good micro. Good micro so far. We're losing a lot of SCVs, which is kind of to be expected. And yeah, now we're pretty far behind. Like, this build is pretty all in, and we do still have the mines alive. Probably gonna get 2 more kills, I guess. But yeah, we did lose a little too many SCVs here. Protoss can easily make a 3rd behind this and macro up. So yeah, so far the 2 biggest mistakes, honestly, are losing the Reaper was pretty big. Making 3 factory units before the add-on was pretty big as well. And, you know, very small detail, but making 2 Marines before the reactor cost you a little bit of DPS as well. Like, we have to mention it, right? It's honestly not a big mistake. I'm sure there's one situation where it's good, but in this scenario, that does count as a little, you know, little thing you have to think about. That made it a bit worse as well. So at this point, I mean, it's still, you know, it's still awkward for the Protoss at this point. He has no 3rd yet. He's gonna have to start that now. No upgrades yet. And you also have no 3 racks, so I feel like this is just going to be a very awkward game where the Terran is behind. Obviously, making tanks as well. We need to get 3 racks at some point, or a 3rd CC. This is like the only thing that gives some potential right now, you know? Like the Widowmine drops, maybe we can get some more. Saves another. I think we got 6 probes already. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's something, right? I mean, it's pretty big. It would have been on 50 probes otherwise. Like, it's good harassment for sure, especially since there's still 1 with a Widowmine alive. Now we go for the 3rd CC first. Honestly, guys, normally, if you're being attacked, a good rule is to play 3 racks before 3rd. In this situation, this is very smart because we need to do something to come back into the game. Like, we're not gonna get back into the game by playing normal. So in this case, I actually approve of this for sure. Like getting Thirsty Sea, getting Cloak Banshee, something weird. This is honestly great. But normally if you're being attacked, like if people do the charge all in against you or the blink all in, you really want to go for that 3 racks before Thirsty Sea. And the reason for that is that even if you hold one of those attacks, if you play Thirsty Sea, you can't punish or like take an advantage out of it at all. Because if someone attacks you, and you hold it, they can still make a third Nexus, double Forge, get Charge, or get Blink, whichever one they didn't get. And you won't be able to punish them for like 3 to 4 minutes because you need to get Stim and Barracks after your third CC. So if you face an attack, 3 racks is preferable so you can actually capitalize on your advantage otherwise. But now in this game, since we're behind, this is the right way to do it. We're going to be a little bit greedy. It's going to be a bit weird. And yeah, we're killing some more probes. It's still not amazing damage, but it's very annoying. You know, what I always say, taking APM out of the opponent is also very important. Like, he's probably going to miss macro a bit. I think I even saw 2 Templar Archives in the production. I think he probably cancelled one. I'm pretty sure I saw that just now. And that's probably because you're distracting him, you know. If he has nothing to do, he's not going to make mistakes like that, so that's very good. So I definitely do like the follow-up. Now, it's still going to be hard for this reason, because, like, you would look at the supply and say, like, well, I mean, it doesn't look that bad, does it? It's, you know, like, honestly, this is a pretty normal worker count for TVP. Like, it could be better, of course. We don't have a third landed yet, so it looks a bit better for Protoss. But the biggest thing here is, just like I said, is that there's no stim. So there's nothing we can do about anything that happens in the game for like 2 more minutes, you know. He could attack us and we can't really defend it. We'll just have to sit on the high ground. He can take a fourth and we can't attack him. Like, without those upgrades, stim combat shields, most importantly stim, of course, you can't really capitalize on anything. Even if the supplies now are the same, this is a very good game for the Protoss at this point. Now we do have 2 Banshees. They have been spotted, looks like. Still a bit weird though, I mean, you never know. How many observers are out on the map? None actually there, so he's gonna have to bring one back. Yeah, like I said, good moves, you know. Maybe even up that worker supply a little bit. I always think if you're like remotely even, then it's pretty good for Terran. Like if he were 10s, if he's down at this point, it's pretty good. Obviously, he's still not really gonna do enough damage. If those Banshees would have killed like 12 workers, then, you know, it would have given back some hope. Looks like they're just gonna kill like about 5-6 in total. Oh, the turret grabs another one as well. Like a good harassment. For sure. Now we're gonna have to land that third. Also, I think from the Protoss point of view, playing 6 gas when you're ahead is not that smart, to be honest. I feel like if you're in a good spot like this, it's way better to just skip some of the gas and take a really fast fourth. Because like I said, it can't be punished. And you can just power up really hard in that eco and gateway count and everything else. And after that, you can take your gases and tech up. Like, it's very easy to expand. Like, you don't need to take it this slow. Also has 23 probes on saturation on these minerals, for example. Like, an expansion would really do him good at this point. So we're just gonna camp with tank mine. You know, as expected, I guess. 5th rack's coming up. Also, an important part you need to think about is all the production. Like, I don't know what the Protoss has at this point. 6 gateways only. That's actually not fantastic. Normally, you would expect at least 8 or 9 at this point. So, not even the Protoss production is not that great, to be honest. Like, I was just about to point out, there are no 5 barracks yet, so the Terran production is actually very small. But the Protoss production is honestly very tiny as well. Only 6 gate and a robo. That's really not that fantastic for someone with his 4th halfway. That should be at least on 8 or 10. And now the way you would go on with this game is just, you know, just like we're doing basically. You camp hard, you turtle, you get up Ghost, probably Vikings or Liberators at some point as well. Try to grab some expansions. And hope your opponent makes some mistakes, attacks into you in a very poor manner. Get some Widow Mine drops in. So yeah, at this point, Sol is doing a fantastic job. I mean, he knows what to do. Like I said, he's a veteran in those long ass games, you know. Protoss is gonna go for a timing. This 2-2 timing looks very, very tough as well. It's gonna be 2-2 against 1-1. Conquest of Shells is about to finish. Not super relevant, of course. Alright, let's see what we're gonna have here. This honestly, I'm not gonna lie, this looks like a very defendable attack. But the buy was a little bit out of position. I think an attack was not really expected here. Oh no. Ouch. Yeah, that was... I think the storms were not expected. Honestly, guys, if there's a prism... Let me fast forward a little bit so you don't have to look at the torture. I'll try to do it properly, okay. If there's a prism like this, guys, and with this I mean it's really far forward. Some protos use it to mind game, but no matter what, you always need to respect it. Like, you definitely can't attack like this into a prism, you know. At this point, what you would do is send some marines back, maybe some here to the right, you know. Just split them off very basically. Just don't attack like this, because, like, I don't know, this Protoss could be 4K, and you would be able to tell what's gonna happen, you know. Okay, let's fast forward that very fast. There we go. See, honestly, a disastrous fight, but this actually looked very doable. He attacked before 2-2. Like, I feel like this attack should have been defended. If you had a good split here, maybe pulled the SCVs away a bit sooner. Like, honestly, this could have been the fight you needed to get back into the game, to be honest. Like, that was honestly not a very great attack, I think. Just a little bit more marine splits. Maybe the problem was that you didn't anticipate the attack. Obviously, you know, try to have a marine out there. Basically, what I use as a rule is if I do harassment, like I send out the Widow Mine drop, like this one, and Protoss didn't try to blink on it with a bunch of stalkers or send their army there, then you need to check if an army is on the way to your base. If you harass and you don't see their army at their base, it might be next to yours. So then you send out a marine. Like, I'm not telling you to have like perfect map vision and send out marines everywhere, you know. But if you don't see their army anywhere, you're not sure where it is, just send out one marine here, and see if it's there, so you can anticipate the attack. Because I don't know if this was a micro issue, it just seemed more like desperation to defend the third after being kind of out of position, you know. So yeah, that was kind of the killing blow. Like, we still have a decent eco, like our... Well, we did lose a lot of SCVs here, but we are getting our third base up. Main base is kind of mined out anyway. So still 50 SCVs, it's not that bad. Don't forget that their bases are going to mine up pretty soon as well. Yeah, this one's still mining, we're getting it pretty dry on those minerals. You see 15. How much is this? Oh, wait, that actually has a lot for how small it looks. But we're getting our fourth up. And the eco is not that bad. The problem is that, you know, this is our army. The 2 tanks and 2 bad boys over here. And honestly, those stores really sealed the deal. There was still a lot of potential in this game, even if we were behind. But it was doable. At this point, probably not so much. This base is going to be cancelled. Guys, tanks are decent, but against Protoss units, I don't think two tanks are really going to scare this entire army away. I mean, speaking from experience, you know. I've made tanks before against Protoss, guys. They're alright, you know, but that's what they are. They're alright. Now, Ghosts are coming out. That's a really good tool. Would have been nice before as well. But yeah, at this point, we don't have the army to compete once again 1-1 against 2-2. And this is gonna be, yeah, basically undefendable. Besides an absolute miracle. Whereas the Storm Prism is lagging a bit behind. Obviously, can't really counter the Storm Prism when you're... Like, normally you have a big army, you know, and you can split off apart to counter the Prism. But if his army without the Storm Prism is already twice as big, there's not much to be done here. And that's it, boys. Soul says GG, well played, and that's gonna be it for this TVP. Now, the biggest mistakes definitely were, you know, those early game scouting things, like I said, losing the Reaper, making 3 factory units before the Allin. I think those were the 2 most crucial mistakes. And then here, the lack of anticipation and the lack of splitting against the Storm Drop. You were behind, but that really sealed the deal. And that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys learned a lot. And don't forget to sub and like, and see you guys next time. Adios.